This movie was so fun. I loved it. I just got into it so much. So what was the feel on set?
Oh, it was a blast. I mean, it genuinely it felt like I'd never been to camp, but it felt the closest to camp as possible. And there was so much love and support from everyone. We had 4 weeks of dance rehearsals and recording, so we just got to kind of lean onto each other and create that friendship. And I mean, every day was like going to work and loving the script and loving your crew, and then getting to break out into song and dance with songs that you either grew up listening to or got to re-record and or originals for families to listen to. So it was so beautiful.
It was so the energy was just so high and so much. I mean, I couldn't even keep up sometimes. Everyone was just goofing around but still all the while staying professional. And I think it was just the perfect mix of, fun energy and goofiness, but also we're here to make a great movie. And I think that's what we did.
So Bailee already said that she's never been to camp, but Kevin, had you been to camp growing up or?
Yeah. 3 years I went when I was a tween in Wisconsin. I grew up near Chicago. So I spent 3 years there. It was fun.
Yeah. So I loved camp. I went to like church camp. So it was a lot like this experience. Good. So it really it got me into it because I remembered all the little things. So, I mean, I bet it kind of felt like camp to you, Bailee, being just even a part of the set and stuff because it was on a camp.
Yeah, it was also, I think, one of the first movies that I had ever done where I was actually with people my age. So that was like a camp experience in itself. I had always really only worked with people way older than me. So I was like, oh, wait, I have friends that are my age. Like, how does this work? You know what I mean? Like, how does this? And then I was on a camp setting and there were just games and things in the water. And it was overwhelmingly so cool to me. So yeah, I was floored. Camp is awesome.
So one of my favorite songs is the one kind of about your worth. And I thought that was such a great song. Yeah, is enough. Yeah, I thought this was such a great song for younger audiences, just anybody who needs to understand that they have worth and God loves them. Yeah. Can either of you talk about why that's a good thing for younger audiences?
I think kids are so impressionable, and for them to hear a message like that, you are good enough, especially in today's day and age with social media and technology surrounding us and feeling like you always have to compare yourself. I can only imagine how difficult that is for the generation that's coming up now. So for them to hear a song like Good Enough, where they are good enough, they are told that they're doing everything right. I think it's just an important message that people need to hear. And God made you just how you should be, which is true. We forget that sometimes. We think we're flawed, but nobody's perfect. And really the flaws that we have are what make us who we are.
Yeah. I think music is such a powerful thing too. It's something that I've always loved my whole life growing up. And I loved the idea of getting to tell a story through a song that can then be stuck in your head as you're walking around the house. And I think the same thing can be said with, a video game that you play or a movie that you watch. The same thing can go for a song, if not more. So the idea of having, little nieces and nephews of my own who can watch this movie, who hold on to everything so much, who love singing and they love dancing. They love being like, Alexa, play this, the idea that as they are falling in love with these songs and learning these lyrics, whether they know it or not, they're getting a message inside their little heads is the most precious thing in the world. So, I'm 21 years old. Goodness knows I need to hear that, I'm good enough and doing okay all the time. I think it's a really, really special time to have this song coming out at a time where so many people have been at home and unable to do things or go out. And, there's a whole lot of self-reflection and doubt that comes with that. So, I'm glad that a song like this now exists for people.
Yeah. And so we're all about faith at Movieguide. And I was wondering if either of you, this was a personal take or something that you kind of grew with when you were, on set and everything, or is faith personal to you? Bailee, do you want to start?
Yeah. Obviously you guys know, I started going to the Movieguide Awards when I was 7 years old. And I think won one of the awards when I was 8, I want to say, you know what I mean? Or something like that. So, you've been so much a part of my journey with faith for a really long time. But yeah, I mean, I grew up in a household where that was instilled in me in a very, very young age. And thankfully I always felt like I was able to come to terms with it on my own. I was supported with it, but I was never forced with anything. And so very much so my journey with my faith has been a very personal one, that I'm really grateful for. But if there's ever a moment, especially being 21 and trying to navigate this business as tricky as it is sometimes, if there's ever a chance that I can share that side of my heart, and also just make a film for the whole family to get to sit down and love and enjoy and not be bored and be entertained and hold all of those things, it's a no-brainer for me and my heart and my whole family. So I was thrilled when the script fell into my lap.
Faith is a very important part of my life, if not the most important part of my life. But it wasn't always that way. And there was a struggle really in my early 20s where I had kind of shunned the idea of faith. And it sounds so cliche, but with the timing of a week away and the stuff that I was dealing with personally, God really did bring this project at the perfect time. And it was a complete reintroduction to my own faith. And since then, in retrospect, as I look back on this project, I just think I don't believe in coincidences, not anymore, at least. And it was all too coincidental that this project had come into my life when it did. So faith is very important to me.